Cindy's pregnant.
This tent is huge, man. It'll take up half your trunk or half your back seat. It is an Ozark Trails, of course. It's a 12-person cabin tent, and it measures 18.5 by 12.25 by 7.5. As you can see, it dwarfs the other tents in our camp. We tested it under very hot and windy weather. It has a good sized porch you can put a couple chairs and a small table on. And then it also has a room divider that runs down the middle, so you have two separate spaces within the inside. It has a generous sized door in the back and the same in the front, and then double doors on the porch. One thing I didn't like about this tent was no matter how hard I pulled, I couldn't get the walls on the porch to get all the way to the ground. But there was a flap at the bottom.
So you can't get out.
The flap didn't actually keep critters out, but it did give you the illusion that the walls went all the way to the floor. Otherwise, I loved having this porch.
And he's smarter than the average tent.
The interior of the tent was very generous sized. It had huge windows all around for great airflow. There are 4 pouches, 1 in each corner, 3 pockets per pouch, and an additional movable plastic pouch that we used for our permits to keep them safe and dry. The front and back door had windows that were just as big as the side windows. We would open and close these throughout the day in order to block the harsh sun or to let in the breeze. As stated earlier, we had some pretty intense winds out here. Just noticed this popped out of place because of the wind. Now I love the general construction of this thing. It's got aluminum poles all the way up to the top of the walls. And then the ceiling is done with the shot cord nylon poles. And then when the Rainfly is on, it's double guy lined by default because you have one guy line on the tent and one guy line on the Rainfly. I like to double or even triple guy line my tents if I know I'm going to be under sustained winds or high wind conditions. Like when you have conditions like this. This demonstrates winds in the 30s. When winds over 40 miles an hour were predicted, we just left camp because we didn't want to be stressed out about it. Upon our return, we thought that tent was toast and damaged beyond repair. It ripped one of those cheesy little yellow stakes right out of the ground. So, it's all folded in. But the amazing part is it flips right back up and doesn't look like it actually sustained any damage. So that's a pretty awesome tent design right there.
So far you've been seeing this tent in its HQ configuration. Now at Camp 3 we used it as all the tent you need. We turned it about backwards, so on the approach you didn't have the cool little shade canopy. So we just used a shade tent for the front entrance, and that's where we're walking through now. And then we're actually approaching the tent from the back door. Entering, you come into the kitchen and lounge area. Beyond that, the second room, which is separated by the curtains, is what we used for the bedroom. Now, the curtains were kind of a pain. They kept unrolling, so we ended up tying this one back. So the 2 rooms are plenty big. It worked as all the tent you need. They're both 9 by 12. At this camp, we use the back patio as a bathroom. Now, overall, you always have to add something, either a bathroom or a shade tent. So I guess it doesn't quite do all the tent you need.
We decided to rate this tent at a 9.5, only because the walls don't come all the way down on the porch and the curtains are kind of hard to keep tied back, which both seem like measurement issues. Although it takes a while to set up, It's very easy to set up. It's plenty roomy for anything you want to be able to do. And most of all, it weathered the storms beautifully, although I don't know how it would handle a snow load. So thank you for joining us. Have fun, stay safe.